Hi, Bob. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us today. We're doing a series of interviews with past ICA chairs. And as you know, the next year we're going to be organizing, along with the Actuaries Institute of Australia, the 32nd International Congress of Actuaries in Sydney. Now, Bob, I don't want to date you, but can you let me know which ICA was the first you ever attended?
My first ICA, I remember it very clearly, was 2002 in Cancun, Mexico.
All right. So what do you remember about the ICA in Cancun in 2002? What was the most memorable moment that you had at that ICA?
There were two moments that really stick out. One was very much about the ICA, and the other was really about some of the location. The moment that really stands out for me in the ICA was entering the exhibit hall and seeing all of the energy from having actuaries from all around the world exchanging ideas, meeting and greeting, discussing issues and so forth. And it was a pivotal moment in my actuarial career, just coming to appreciate the power of our international network and our international profession.
So would you say that would be one of the reasons why any actuary should be attending one of the ICAs, or are there any other ideas there that you might want to share?
Sure. And incidentally, the non-ICA element that really stands out in my mind was one of the social activities. Visiting the Mayan ruins was on the spring equinox was astonishing. For me, every ICA I've been to, that energy of having the international community there and the exchange of ideas and meeting new people, meeting old friends and so forth is a particularly magical element. I've also really enjoyed the variety of the content at the ICAs as well, ranging from some of the leading practitioners and academics in the field, sharing their latest thinking, all the way down to presentations by very young actuaries, in some cases people who are still in university but are doing very interesting research on some current events and so forth. So the content is always interesting and quite varied, and ranges from theoretical to practical and everything in between.
So you were chair of the ICA, the 30th ICA that was held in Washington in 2014. Do you remember when and where the IAA sort of granted the ICA to the U.S. Actuarial Associations?
As I recall, that was in Barcelona about 10 or 12 years before the ICA. Maybe it was around 2002 or so.
That was when it took place. That's right. What would you say from your experience at ICA 2014? What was the most memorable moments that you remember from that?
Every time walking into the exhibit hall, seeing just the diversity of actuaries, exchanging ideas and meeting and greeting was that was when I really felt that we as organizers had done a particularly good service to the profession by enabling that kind of gathering of actuaries to happen.
Well, I agree with you, Bob, and on that point. I mean, I remember from my part, I was specifically organizing the bursary program for the ICA in Washington. I think it was the third time I was doing it, and I think it was the largest amount of bursary recipients that we ended up bringing to the ICA in Washington. It was truly inspiring, as you said, in the exhibition hall, to seeing all those individuals from 100 countries participating in the ICA, and it was just refreshing and enlightening for everybody. And I do want to remind everyone who's listening to this video that the bursary program for ICA 2023 next year in Sydney is open, and we are welcome to receiving your application if you wish to participate.
I was just going to confirm, I've been on the bursary, worked on the bursary process for a number of the ICAs, and I think it's tremendously powerful for us to be able to enable actuaries from developing countries to attend. So yeah, we'd like to see plenty of applications, and also welcome donations from associations and other organizations and individuals who are able to do that.
Now, on the lighter side, what do you remember would be, or what was the motivation for having the ICA at the time of year that we had it in Washington? If you remember, what was the occasion behind the dates?
Well, let me answer that in two steps. First, 2014 was a very nice time to host it, nice year to host it in the US, because that was the 100th anniversary of the formation of the Casualty Actuarial Society,
Yep.
which is only one of the professional associations in the US, but centennial event is pretty important. So that made 2014 a pretty magical year for us, for sure. We thought Washington, D.C. it's an interesting city to visit any time of year, but it's quite lovely in the springtime. And so we carefully calibrated the timing of ICA to fall at the historical average peak date of the cherry blossoms every spring. Now, the weatherman, of course, has the meteorologists have a good sense of humor. And so instead we had snow on the first day of ICA, which was very exciting for some of our delegates from the warmer climates, but less exciting for the organizers. Nonetheless, the city put on a good show for ICA.
Yeah, I remember that vividly, Bob, because I was flying down from Ottawa, and when I landed in Washington, it was actually snow coming down, and that was quite strange for me coming down from Canada finding snow in Washington.
One of the first delegates I met was a young lady from Africa, one of the bursary attendees, and she was just leaping with excitement at being at ICA. And I thought, oh, this is great. This is what the bursary fund is all about. So we stopped and chatted. She said, oh, I am so excited to be here. I've never seen snow before in my life.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bob, for chatting with us today. And we look forward to seeing you on September 2nd, when we will have our International Actuaries Day. And we will see you next year as well at the Sydney ICA.
My wife and I are making our plans to be in Sydney, and in fact, we're already talking about 2026 in Tokyo as well. So,
awesome.
See you then.
Thanks for listening. Note that we have embedded clues within this video that will help you respond correctly to our weekly quizzes to win a prize related to ICA 2023. Good luck.